What if I told you that in some countries, giving birth is the fastest way to get a new passport? Some call it a constitutional right, others call it a loophole, but it's called Jus Soli, and it could mean a passport at birth in a range of different countries. So there are many different countries that offer Jus Soli with unrestricted rules. So if you give birth in these countries, your child is automatically granted citizenship for being born here. There are some countries that do offer this, but there are some restrictions that come with it. And there are countries that obviously do not offer this at all. And we're gonna go through which countries do offer it and a little bit about our personal story about giving birth in another country.
Okay, so we get asked this question extremely often because we had our first child in Thailand. And the first thing everybody says as soon as we tell them that is she Thai? Does she have a Thai passport? Do you guys have citizenship? And we have to tell everybody all the time, no, that's not actually how it works in Thailand and actually pretty much all of Asia, right?
Most of Asia and a lot of Europe as well.
Your child will only get citizenship in a country like Thailand if one of the parents is from Thailand. So for us, that was not the reason that we had our child in Thailand. Mandy can go into more details as to why we did, but just straight off the bat, we had our first child overseas. It was one of the best experiences we ever had, one of the best decisions we ever made, but we didn't do it for the reason of getting a passport or a path to citizenship.
That being said, it is an incredible incentive to maybe pick somewhere else to have a child, and a very popular way for people to collect a new passport, especially with the current situation with different governments and different things that are going on in different countries. Having the option to be able to go to another country as a citizen with a passport is a major game changer in life for a lot of people. But for us, we chose Thailand because the hospitals were absolutely great. I was so well looked after. Another reason was, as someone who doesn't have a huge support system, I was able to supplement that in Thailand a lot easier than I would have been able to in my home country of Canada. We were able to afford someone to come clean our home. We were able to get more food delivered, things that just made our lives a lot easier when I was a lot more tired postpartum and breastfeeding, so unable to take care of our house as much as I normally would. These things were a lot more accessible in Thailand for us.
So this may apply a little bit more to digital nomads. We've met a lot of digital nomads who are in the position we were in a couple of years ago where they're contemplating having a child, but because they're nomads, they think that they just have to go home to their home country and have a child, which is often like us, like we're from different countries. And we've met a lot of couples where one of the parents is from somewhere in Europe, for instance, and maybe the other one is from Australia, and they have to decide where they're going to go to have their child. And they think that they have to go back home for the entire, I guess, pregnancy and then the postpartum. And that just isn't the case. You can have a child pretty much wherever you want, and you can pick where you think suits you, both for lifestyle and for healthcare. And we chose Thailand for obvious reasons.
We also think for nomads, it's kind of preventing a lot of people from having children, thinking that you have to stop traveling or that it's not safe to have a child somewhere that you don't have a support system or that you're just not familiar with. But we had a really great experience.
No.
So one of the things that actually made giving birth in another country just like very much peace of mind was that we had health insurance that covered the entire thing. So we use Safety Wing Nomad insurance. We had been covered by Safety Wing for a number of years before I got pregnant, and it covered everything. It covered my pregnancy, ultrasounds, anytime that I wasn't feeling Lila.
Hey.
We're gonna keep having interruptions because this is the reality of having a child. So they covered everything, and having the peace of mind to know that if anything went sideways or if anything came up, that we weren't expecting, that we would be covered as well. And it also covered Lila too. So if anything was irregular or, things happen when you give birth that you just don't plan for, we knew that she was covered as well. And that was just a lot of peace of mind. I couldn't recommend Safety Wing enough. It was just a really peaceful experience, and I was just able to really enjoy my pregnancy experience, my postpartum experience, because we were financially covered. And also going somewhere with warm weather while you're pregnant. As someone from Canada, I just didn't think I'd be able to handle the winters while I was pregnant, and I'm really glad that I did that. So I feel like it helped grow my baby and just made me feel a lot healthier. I do want to go through some of the countries that do offer this without any restrictions. So if you do decide that you want to give birth in one of these countries, you will be granted citizenship and your child will get a passport, as well as you as a family will be able to get passports as well because of your child. And sometimes this is referred to as an anchor baby. This is also another term used for this. A lot of people find this a bit contradictory with mass immigration, that sort of thing going on at the moment. It is a bit of a touchy subject, but it is something that is quite important to talk about. So we're going to put on the screen here a list of countries that offer Jus Soli with automatic citizenship if your child is born there. So North and South America, most of the Americas follow this model. Places like the United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Uruguay, Venezuela, and most of the Caribbean nations like Jamaica and Barbados. There's also Costa Rica, I do believe, and it is a very common place that I know a lot of nomads go because there is a lot of midwives and a lot of support that you can get in Costa Rica for having a child. It's been somewhere that I also looked to, so something worth looking into if you are sort of maybe shopping around for somewhere to have a peaceful place to have a child. That's one that I would probably recommend.
So then there's a few countries that offer conditional or restricted Jus Soli, and that basically means that it's the same thing, you get the birthright, but the condition is that in these countries, at least one parent usually must be either a citizen, a permanent resident, or have lived there legally for several years. So that's an important thing to remember, lived there legally. So maybe you're there on a work permit, on a permanent residency, but you're not a citizen. Then if your child is born there, your child will still get given citizenship, and then so will you eventually because you are a parent. So those countries include the United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, and Portugal, which again are all amazing countries. If you're thinking about moving, or maybe, I don't know, to me it seems like just a good second option, because I think if we've learned anything over the last 5 or so years is that nothing is certain. And I know during the pandemic, we would have loved to have had a second passport to be able to go somewhere else where it wasn't as restrictive. And I think it's important these days that you cover all your bases, because you really never know what's going to happen down the pipeline.
Okay, so countries that do not offer this is primarily most of the Middle East does not offer this, and most of Asia. So we had our daughter in Asia. So like we said, she was not granted a passport and neither were we. Still had a wonderful experience. That's just how it works. They don't offer it. So maybe when you're considering, or if you're considering having a child overseas, this is something that you want to look into. And also just having the peace of mind, obviously having good health insurance.
And anyway, aside from like getting the passport, if you are a digital nomad, why not have your child somewhere you actually want to be? Like Costa Rica sounds like an amazing place to have a child. I think we might consider doing that for our second baby. Anywhere in the Caribbean, imagine spending your pregnancy and postpartum somewhere in the Caribbean and then getting also a passport on top of that.
I think one of the biggest reasons that people aren't having children at the moment, even though they want to, is because they don't have a support system as well. And being able to go somewhere that you can maybe afford a little bit more support, because it is a very challenging time, even with the extra added support that we were able to bring in housekeepers, that sort of thing. It was still super challenging, but at least we had that support, a little bit more support system, because we don't. because we don't have that large village like we used to back in the day, but having a child is just such a blessing. So being able to do things a little bit different and work your way around the system so you can still have the child that you want to have.
So it's important to note for Safety Wing, there is a 10-month waiting period. So you can't just decide you're going to go overseas somewhere and have a child, sign up to Safety Wing and boom, you're covered. There is a 10-month waiting period, and that's for obvious reasons. So if you're already a digital nomad and you need coverage, I would recommend signing up to the Safety Wing Complete Plan now, if you're thinking about having a child especially, but it also covers you for everything else health related as well, like checkups, covers you for dental, if you need new glasses, if you get injured overseas, any kind of medical emergency, they cover you for. And if you're thinking of having a child anyway, you might as well get on that plan now. And then they actually cover you for 80% of everything, starting from the moment you're pregnant up until postpartum. So all of those checkups that you need to do, any scans or anything, and including the delivery, they cover you for. And that means you get access to private healthcare, which you probably wouldn't get back home. I know we wouldn't.
No, that's right. Yeah. I think one of my favorite parts was that Safety Wing covered things like acupuncture and prenatal massages. So things like that I was helping either prepare my body for pregnancy or during pregnancy when I really needed some self-care, those things were covered as well through the insurance. Yeah, I just couldn't recommend it enough. I just felt like I was well taken care of and all my needs were met. So if you are interested in checking out Safety Wing and you're wanting to do something like this like we did, we'll leave a link to Safety Wing down in the description. You can check it out for yourself.
And maybe let us know if you're thinking about having a baby overseas and one of the countries we listed interests you. Let us know which one down below you're thinking about. I know Costa Rica sounds pretty cool, or maybe one of the Caribbean countries.
Yeah. Which one do you think would be best, and where would you have the best time? We'd love to hear about it. Let us know if this video helped you. What do you think of Jus Soli? Do you support it? Do you not support it? We want to hear your thoughts. Let us know down in the comments. Like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.